What if I told you that some of the greatest, most sophisticated architects on Earth aren't human? Prepare to have your understanding of construction completely changed. We often marvel at our own creations, towering skyscrapers, sprawling bridges, and magnificent cathedrals. But deep within the wild, hidden from our view, an unseen world of architectural genius thrives, going far beyond simple nests and burrows. These structures rival human feats in their complexity, their sustainability, and their sheer, mind-blowing ingenuity. Welcome to the hidden world of the unseen animal architects. Our journey begins today by opening up the blueprints to a different kind of engineering. We're going beyond the obvious to discover structures that almost defy explanation. These creatures, driven by millions of years of instinct, build true marvels of engineering. Let's start with an architect you might overlook, the humble termite. Those mounds you see aren't just heaps of dirt. They are sophisticated, climate-controlled megacities. Imagine a skyscraper but built by insects. These towering structures can reach heights of 20 feet or more, perfectly scaled to their tiny inhabitants. But the real genius is what's happening inside. Termites are farmers. They cultivate specialized fungus gardens deep within their mounds, their primary food source. To do this, they need to maintain a perfect internal environment, stable humidity, and a constant temperature, even when the outside world is scorching hot or freezing cold. How do they do it? Through an intricate network of tunnels and ventilation shafts. Hot air from the colony rises and flows into a series of thin-walled surface tunnels where it cools and sinks back down, creating a natural, continuous convection cycle. They are masters of passive climate control, an achievement human engineers are only now truly beginning to mimic in our own green buildings. It's an entire civilization thriving on principles we're still learning. From the engineering genius of insects, we move to the world of avian artistry and meet the bowerbird. Unlike most birds whose nests are built for the purely functional purpose of raising young, the bowerbird structure is something else entirely. It's a pure architectural display dedicated to the art of courtship. The male bowerbird meticulously constructs an elaborate avenue or a dome-like hut, called a bower. But he doesn't stop there. He becomes an interior designer. He scours the forest for objects to decorate his creation, brightly colored berries, iridescent beetle wings, shiny shells, and even human-made items like bottle caps and pieces of glass. And here's the truly incredible part. He arranges them by color. A splash of blue here, a patch of yellow there, all designed to create the most visually stunning display possible. He will spend hours, even days, adjusting a single shell until it's just right. This isn't just building. This is architecture as art, driven purely by aesthetics and the desire to impress a potential mate. The female bowerbird will inspect multiple bowers, choosing her partner based on the quality and beauty of his architectural and artistic skills. It's a powerful reminder that function isn't the only motive for creation in the wild. Beauty, it seems, has its own evolutionary advantage. Now, let's dive beneath the surface of a quiet stream to meet our next architect, one who practices a very personal form of construction, the caddisfly larva. In its vulnerable larval stage, this tiny creature needs protection. So it builds its own personalized, portable suit of armor. What makes this so astonishing is the larva's skill as a mason. Using silk it secretes from a gland near its mouth, it cements together materials from its immediate environment. These can be tiny pebbles, grains of sand, small twigs, or bits of leaves. Each case is a custom-built fortress, perfectly camouflaged to its surroundings. The caddisfly larva is a master of adaptation. If it lives in a fast-flowing stream, it will use heavier stones to weigh itself down and avoid being swept away. If it's in a pond with lots of fish, it will build a more robust defensive case. Scientists have even conducted experiments where they've given caddisfly larvae flakes of gold, turquoise, and other semi-precious stones. And what do? They incorporate these beautiful materials into their cases, creating tiny living pieces of jewelry. It's a stunning example of how instinct can create something both functional and beautiful. Architectural genius isn't just for building homes or attracting mates. It's also a weapon. Consider the antlion. As an adult, it's a delicate dragonfly-like insect, but as a larva, it's a fearsome and cunning predator. And it's a master trap builder. The antlion larva finds a patch of dry, loose sand and begins to construct a deadly trap. It moves in a spiral, using its head to flick grains of sand away, creating a perfectly conical pit. This isn't just a random hole in the ground. The antlion constructs the pit at the exact angle of repose, the steepest angle at which the sand can remain stable without collapsing. The sides are so steep and the soil so loose that once a small insect, like an ant, stumbles over the edge, it can't get a foothold. It slides inevitably down the sandy slope, right toward the waiting jaws of the antlion, which lie buried at the very bottom of the pit. If the prey tries to scramble out, the antlion will flick more sand at it, creating tiny landslides to ensure it reaches the bottom. This is pure physics, ruthlessly and brilliantly applied for survival. It's engineering at its most primal and effective. Then there are the social architects, where the structure itself is a living, breathing system. Look no further than an ant colony or a beehive. These aren't just collections of individuals. They are superorganisms, and their homes are masterpieces of collective engineering. A beehive is a perfect example. The hexagonal wax cells are a mathematical marvel. This shape uses the least amount of wax to hold the most amount of honey, creating an incredibly strong and efficient structure with no wasted space. It's a solution so perfect that mathematicians have studied it for centuries. Ant colonies, often hidden beneath our feet, are vast, sprawling cities with a complex network of tunnels and chambers. There are dedicated nurseries for the young, chambers for food storage, even designated trash areas. Millions of inhabitants work together in a perfectly coordinated effort, constantly expanding and adapting their city. This isn't the work of a single master architect, but the emergent intelligence of millions of tiny builders following simple rules. It's social engineering on a massive scale, prioritizing collective efficiency and resource management in a way that puts our own cities to shame. So, what can we learn from these unseen architects? A great deal, it turns out. The field of biomimicry, where human designers and engineers study nature's solutions to solve human problems, is booming. And it's booming precisely because of the genius of these creatures. Nature builds with zero waste, uses minimal resources, and achieves perfect efficiency because it has had millions of years of evolution to test and refine the optimal design. The passive ventilation systems of termite mounds are inspiring architects to create more sustainable, energy-efficient buildings. The incredible strength and flexibility of spider silk is redefining the future of material science. But there's a crucial final point. These architectural wonders and their builders are incredibly fragile. Their existence is threatened by habitat loss, pollution, and a changing climate. Our world is deeply interconnected. The loss of a tiny antlion or a specialized caddisfly species isn't just the loss of that creature. It's the loss of an entire library of evolutionary knowledge, a blueprint for survival that has been perfected over eons. We have a responsibility to appreciate this unseen world, to learn from it, and most importantly, to protect the habitats that allow these incredible engineers to thrive. The next time you step outside, take a moment. Look closer at the world around you. Remember that the ground beneath your feet might be covering a bustling city, that the stream nearby might be home to tiny jewelers, and that the greatest architects on Earth may be hiding in plain sight, just waiting for you to notice. Thanks for joining us on this journey. If you found this as fascinating as we do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the wonders of the natural world. See you next time.